If you think of AI as digital paint, and you just take it and try and put a fresh coat of paint over your business problems, it is not going to solve them. The paint will crack, you'll still have the same problems. You need to think about it as fundamentally, how do I change what I do in business and where can AI help? And that's a leadership issue, nothing to do with technology, that's leadership. You should think of AI as competitive advantage. Don't think of it as a problem. Don't think of it as something that is evil. Think of it as an opportunity.
And at that point, I quite literally place my life in his hands. My hands come off the stick, off the throttle, I tighten my straps, my hands go across my chest, and I won't admit, that's the point, that's when the fear starts to hit. That's when the adrenaline starts to pump.
I think the most important thing you can do is to keep the human in the loop, because AI on its own can be dangerous because it can go off and do things, right? Unless you control it. So it's about sense checking.
The ability for leaders, and that can be a professor in a university, it can be a politician in a government, it can be a chief executive or somebody in a company. But for those leaders to be able to understand that actually some of their skills are no longer relevant, and that new skills are going to come in, and that new expertise is required, and that they still have a job to do about setting direction and clarity. But they also then have to step back. They have to serve to lead. They have to get in and help the organization by mentoring, by coaching, by supporting, but also by allowing the people with the relevant skills to really step forward and take accountability. So if we are able to focus on this idea of actually really overcoming those fears, really focus, if you like, on the human component, on trust and building trust, but not doing that in isolation. What we want to do is to have trust with technology.
And then lastly, it is a cultural transformation in an organization, because you need to work with AI. AI is not going to replace you, you can't do it without, but you do need to work with it. It's a collaboration. And understanding which parts of your organization need to adapt or to change is a cultural transformation. Working with technology in this way is fundamentally different. So, does it pose a risk? Well, I think it poses a risk to everybody in this room if you do nothing about it. If you adopt a mindset that says there's an opportunity and I need to investigate and I start small and I try something, it becomes far less threatening and far less of a worry. I think that AI will not replace you. I think the human is important in all of this, but it will replace the companies that don't embrace AI.
When we had our engine failure, all right, the reason that we survived, some of you will say, yeah, well, you were lucky. Well, I think you make your own luck. I think the company that you join, or the degree to which you get involved, or the way in which you ask for help, or the way in which you shape your own future, the way in which you train for things, the way in which you lead, all of these things impact how you're able to respond in a situation which is uncertain. And we live in a world in which everything at the moment is uncertain and changing.